The modern man lives in fear. He is fearful of existing, of living. He is fearful of taking up space, and he is fearful of doing things without permission. The modern man has no drive, he has no ambition, he has no fight in him. He just exists for the sake of existing. He doesn't actually live. And that is becoming increasingly more common these days as testosterone drops. Right? Society attempts to villainize masculinity. It is demonized, it is the worst thing in the world. In my opinion, that isn't true. Masculinity isn't about a man's it isn't about a man hurting or harming others. It is about him having the ability to and not doing that. A truly masculine man has the ability to hurt others, but instead of hurting others, he protects others. He protects the people around him, the people that he loves. The masculine man is feared in society, but it's exactly what we need. Men and women work in unity, yin and yang. One pushes, the other one pulls, and that's exactly how it's been up until really the last few decades. The idea of being a masculine man or a feminine woman in today's world is completely abstract. That's just not on the cards to most people. They like to blend masculinity and femininity together and treat it as one, rather than two separate things that work together in unison. And I think there's beauty in these two separate concepts and traits being different. We don't need to treat them as the same thing because they're not, right? Femininity or feminine energy is intrinsically chaotic. It is unpredictable. It is undescribable. You don't know what's going to happen with the feminine, and there's beauty to that. It's a good thing. Whereas on the other hand, masculinity is very grounded. It's very based, and it's very reliable. A masculine man can be relied upon. They can be lent on when you need it. And the way I like to describe this, for an analogy, is imagine a tree, a really large oak tree that's rooted into the ground, and it's extremely based, it's extremely grounded, and not much is going to move this tree. Then comes the wind, and the wind is innately feminine. The wind is chaotic, it is unpredictable, and the wind comes and rustles some of the leaves and the branches of this tree. Now the tree remains grounded. The tree remains rooted into the ground and based. But the branches and the leaves rustle a little bit in the wind, and that's okay. Now what's happening here with this analogy is essentially the tree, being the masculine, is allowing the wind, which is the feminine, to be feminine. It isn't completely blocking out the wind. It isn't stopping the wind from, even coming anywhere near the tree. It's allowing the wind to be feminine, and it's allowing the wind to thrive around the tree. The wind will circle the tree, and it'll rustle all the feathers and all the branches, but the tree will still remain rooted. And this brings me to my next point, which is unironically the title of this video: the world. The world is innately feminine. It is chaotic, it is unpredictable, and our day-to-day lives are sometimes completely ridiculous. And that's okay, because the world is feminine. And when you view it from this viewpoint, it all starts to make sense, right? You, as a man, are masculine. You should be. You need to be masculine. Trying to suppress your masculinity is not a good idea, right? Society is already trying to do that, right? It's in our food, it's in our medicine, it's in our media, right? The masculine man is weaponized, they're demonized. They don't want masculine men because a masculine man is dangerous. He can conquer the world. He can do exactly what he puts his mind to. Whatever he sets his mind to, he can go out and do that thing. And that is a truly masculine man. Now, with regard to the feminine world, you want to penetrate the world as if the world is your woman. Now, I don't mean physically, I mean emotionally, I mean mentally, psychologically, spiritually. You need to act as if the world is a woman wanting to get fucked by you. You need to go out and make love with the world. And that's exactly what the world wants from you. You need to understand that the world is always going to be feminine. The world is always going to be chaotic. And regardless of the world's state and the state that you are in, you need to remain grounded. You need to remain rooted and based to your beliefs and to who you are as a person. And then you need to take those beliefs and do something with it. You need to go out and act. You don't need to ask for permission to act. You don't need to ask for space to exist, to live, because that is feminine. You are a masculine man. You are a masculine male that can go out into the world and make your mark on the feminine world. And that is actually an incredibly beautiful thing. As a masculine man in today's world, your presence is felt. It is actually felt. You step into a room and people can identify you just by your presence. They can feel you touch their souls just by who you are and how you carry yourself as that masculine man. If you're not there yet, don't worry, you can get there. It is simpler than some make it out to be. It starts with a few changes, which, I'll be talking about on this channel. But as the masculine man, you don't need to ask for permission to assert yourself. You just do it. You just assert yourself and you go and make love to the world and you go and make a lot of money and you go and become successful because in your mind, you already are. The law of assumption, right? Neville Goddard. Live as if you are already where you want to be. Live in the state of the wish fulfilled. You have already won. The 3D world, the reality that you're living in, doesn't exist. It's all in your head, right? The 3D world hasn't caught up to where you are in your head. And so when I go and say that you need to go and penetrate the world like you would your woman, you need to go and do exactly that because it is your birthright. You live your life for you, for nobody else but you. You go and do the things that you want to do and you do it unapologetically so. You don't need to ask for permission. You don't need to do any of this. You need to treat the world as if they are feminine, as if it is feminine, because it is. It is chaotic, right? You can't understand the world. That is the world that we live in now. But you yourself are a grounded, masculine male that is ready to go and penetrate the world with your ideas, with your presence, with everything that you have to offer. And you will do that unforgivably. You aren't a bystander in your own story.